It was the year 2012. I had just gotten a promotion at work. I decided to go out with my friends to celebrate. There were about 5 of us. We decided to go to a local club. It was a well-known club. We got there looking stunning. We got a platter and some drinks. The DJ was on fire, and soon enough the club got packed. Everyone was dancing and having fun. Then I saw this good-looking gentleman looking at me. He had been staring at me for a while. He was sitting at the bar, and I thought he was kind of cute. So I went to the bar to get another drink. He came close to me and said, "You look beautiful." I couldn't help but notice your beautiful smile. He was so charming and very soft-spoken, but we couldn't hear each other clearly because the music was too loud. So he suggested we dance. I was really having a great time. Then he asked for my numbers and told me he had to go. He said he would call me later. I went back to the table with my friends. I knew they were watching me, so I couldn't wait to tell them about this guy. They told me they didn't see me with any guy. I told them I was right there at the corner. They all said, "We saw you dancing at the corner alone." But we were surprised, why were you dancing there alone? Anyway, we continued with the night, and then we went home. He called the following day. His voice sounded like he was far away, so I asked why. He said his phone had a speaker problem. Then he asked if we could meet at the club again. I said, "Cool." Saturday night, I went to the club and found him right at the corner where he was standing the last time. I walked to him. There was something strange. He looked pale and his hands were so cold. He told me he had a fever but didn't want to cancel the date because it meant a lot to him. Then he told me I should take him home because he wasn't feeling good. I was really feeling sad for him. So we got into my car and he directed me to his house. When we arrived, he opened the gate and we went into the yard. He told me he'll be right back, but he needed to run to the restroom. That's when I saw an old lady coming towards me. She looked confused. She asked, "Can I help you?" I said, "Sorry ma'am, I came with David. He just went to the restroom." The old lady froze. She started panicking and called the other people from the house. 2 guys and 1 lady came running. They asked, "What's wrong?" I then said, "I came with David. He just went to the restroom." I started calling for him, but he was nowhere to be found. I panicked, thinking they might think I was an intruder. Then one guy said, "David passed away about 2 months ago now." I freaked out and said, "There must be a mistake because I came here with a man named David." They said, "Can you describe the man you're talking about?" When I did, the old lady fainted. The other lady rushed into the house to help her. The 2 guys just stood there, confused, looking at me. I freaked out and said, "Show me where the restroom is." That's where David said he was going. The 2 guys looked at each other. Then one of them said, "This way." My hands were shaking as I followed them through the house. The air got colder with every step. When we got there, the air felt heavy, cold, and there he was. He was covered in blood, but it wasn't fresh. It looked old and dried, cracking on his skin like dead. His shirt was torn. One eye was half closed, as if he had been hit hard. He then said, "You're the only one who can see me, so please stay. I need to tell you how I died." I froze. He then said, "On the day I died, I went to Kosi's club with Kosi. We were drinking. Then, all of a sudden, there was a shooting in the club, and I was killed. After that, Kosi tried to use my body for a ritual. It failed. That's why my body is still roaming around, and my spirit never found peace. I want to rest now." The 2 guys froze. One of them grabbed my arm and said, "Tell us everything again, slowly." I ran through it all while they stood there staring at me. We went into the house. The old lady who had fainted earlier was now sitting on the couch, still in shock. Her hands were trembling. I then explained to the two guys what David was saying. We sat down, and then, all of a sudden, I saw David again. He was sitting on the couch across the old lady, facing me. There was blood all over him, more than before, dripping from his head. His eyes locked on mine, and he whispered, "Help me. Tell them to help me. Tell them to help me." I told them what he was saying. One of the guys asked, "How can we help him? Tell us how must we help him?" But David didn't answer. He looked straight at me and said, "He killed me. He tried to use me as a ritual. That's why my spirit can't rest." And then he disappeared. I couldn't take it anymore. I told them I can't handle this, but I needed to leave. I ran to my car, drove home, and never looked back. A few months later, out of curiosity, I tried calling the number he gave me. The line said, "The number is not in service."